Hello everybody and welcome to ISpeakSpokeSpoken.com. My name's Dan and today we're going to look at time expressions. So words like ago, during, for and since. These words are very important in order to be able to show when things happened in relation to other things. And it can really help you make sure you communicate your timings about your events and things you want to say correctly. So let's start with the word ago. So ago is actually a word that we use quite a lot, but I know that it's not introduced into textbooks until quite high on the levels. And I don't know why, because it's a word that's quite useful. So let's talk about what we can use and how we can use it. Now it's to talk about something that happened in the past from a point now. So for example, we might say he graduated 10 years ago. So from this point, it was 10 years past that he graduated. He graduated 10 years ago. Okay? This word graduated is quite a complex and difficult word to get right pronunciation-wise. Just remember that the stress starts at the beginning and it's graduated. Graduated. And the ED is the id version of it. Remember, there are three. So graduated. Okay. We met them exactly 1 month ago. We met them exactly 1 month ago. So this tells us that from this point, it was 1 month past, 1 month back from now, 1 month ago. So this is always the way, always the same way. And it always comes at the end of the sentence, or at least at the end of the clause. Okay, so I met him 10 years ago. He graduated 10 years ago. We met them exactly 1 month ago. Okay, right. So, during. Now, during is quite an interesting word because during talks about something going on at the same time as something else. So, for example, it can take, as we say here, it conveys a time frame. So, let's have a look at an example and we can then talk about the meanings from the example. So she learned to knit during the winter months. So something is occurring at the same time as something else. And it's the ability to put those two things together. So for example, I was studying or I was working during my study holiday. So when I had this time off from study, I was working. But this was happening at the same time. So many interesting discussions took place during the conference. So the conference was happening and the discussions were happening at the same time. So whilst this was happening, that was also happening during. Okay, and it's kind of interesting and important to know that if you want to talk about two events going on at the same time parallel, during is the perfect word for it. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. I think we're okay for this. For. So for in the context of time is when we're talking about the amount of time that something lasts, okay? So indicating the length of time that an action lasts. So for example, we have been studying English for over 2 years. Or actually you don't have to have over, you can just say for 2 years. Okay, it depends how you want to do it. And it means that the time frame was 2 years. So I have been studying English for 2 years. Often this is found with this present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous goes very well with this word for. So I have been walking for 10 minutes. We have been studying English for over 2 years. Okay? She will be away for the entire weekend. Okay, entire as well. This is kind of an interesting word, entire weekend. Make sure this is aya sound, aya, entire weekend. Again, we're being told how long she will be away. She will be away for this time. Okay, and it's used to discuss duration of an activity as well. So for example, for short periods or for longer periods as well. Okay, so let's look at the word since. So since is used to talk about from a point in the past. So for example, we can say something like, they have known each other since childhood. They have known each other since childhood. So from this point up to the point now. And they have known is used very often in the present perfect. So present perfect simple. So they have known with that third verb. For example, another example here is it has been raining since early this morning. So we're often using these in the perfect form. So it has been raining since early this morning. And it's a great way to kind of link the past with now. Businesses often use this when they're talking about how long they've been in business. So we've been in business since 1995 or 1997. Okay, excellent. Let's have a practice then of all these things we've seen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say these sentences and I'm going to give you a space for you to add the word that you think it is, and then we'll go over to see if you got that correct. Remember, before we do this, you can pause the video, you can get all that information from the I above, you can get those slides so you can practice and go over it and revise. You can also do the quiz on all the things that we've talked about today. If you're on mobile, that'll be below your video. Okay, so here we go. We first visited Paris 5 years ago. Well done. We first visited Paris 5 years ago. And there it is. Okay. Number 2, I have been feeling unwell the party last night. I have been feeling unwell. Yes, it's during the party last night. So you can see this thing happened at the same time as the other thing, parallel. He has been on a business trip Monday. He has been on a business trip Monday. Since, yes, since Monday. Good. Okay. He has been on a business trip since Monday, from the past up until now. So she has been practicing piano several hours a day. She has been practicing piano several hours a day. Yes, it's for several hours a day. So for the time frame. Actually, this one we can drop, but we don't always have to. Sometimes you can with for, but it depends. But let's just leave it like this for now. So well done. It's not so difficult actually. And once you know the basic rules, you will know how to use these words and where to put them. So I hope this has been useful for you, and we'll see you on the next video.